miss this feeling of driving, you know, the hydraulics and all that, accelerators, brakes. Oops. Okay, slide adjustments, but you think I'm just doing but there's just slide adjustment, all that, but I'm not going anywhere. Just I miss the car, I miss things. Namaste beautiful souls, beautiful world, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you guys doing great. Welcome back to another vlog. Last vlog I was kind of testing out the Cine 4 and S-Log 2, which is my most used profiles in this Sony camera, a 6500. I would say S-Log is the most used over Cine 4, but those are the two profiles I love to shoot in. Today I'm gonna tell you why I love to shoot in S-Log and why you should shoot in S-Log or flat profile in general. First of all, flat profile is an adaptation, I'll say it's an adaptation from the cinema cameras RAW shooting. Film cameras shoot in RAW, which means they're getting more dynamic range in their footage. I'm saying about digital cameras, okay, not film cameras like Christopher Nolan do. They're IMAX cameras, they're 100 times better than digital cameras, but when it comes to digital camera, film shoots in RAW format just like the photo, because they have more control over the shadows, highlights, contrast, sharpness, color, everything. So when they edit it, color grade it, they have control over all these aspects of a film or that clip, which makes the film differ from what we normally shoot. When it comes to Sony camera, S-Log is the flattest profile, and in other cameras it depends on the camera, there are going to be other flat profiles. Is it better or it is as good as RAW? No, it's an adaptation like I said, but shooting in flat profile will give you more control over your footage, and when you color grade and all that, you get the best results out of any camera that you're using. In 2020, most of the cameras have a flat profile inbuilt in the camera. So when it comes to DSLR cameras, most DSLR cameras, I would say, most DSLR cameras doesn't have a flat profile inbuilt. And some of the mirrorless cameras out there, definitely some of the mirrorless cameras out there don't have such inbuilt log capabilities. Don't worry, we can always fake that profile in your camera by cranking down your contrast, saturation and sharpness. So after the lockdown, things are getting a little bit back to normal, not completely, but little bit. It's really sunny and we have some clear clouds. The best way to check out the S-Log is to find the right spot where you need to expose two stops to get the dynamic range out of shadows and the highlight at the same time. It's gonna be super better if you have an anti-filter attached to your lens, because the reason I don't have one, it's gonna be challenging, at the same time it's gonna suck. So here's the thing, I was using f1.4 16mm Sigma lens, which I don't need to use it outside, but most of my vlogs I'm shooting, whether it's outside or not, I'm shooting in this lens. But it's a very bright sunny day, I don't have an anti-filter or variable anti-filter on this lens here, so I'm gonna switch to the prime lens, the kit lens that I got with this Sony camera A6500 18 to 135 mm f3.5, because I have a filter on there. It's not a variable anti-filter, that's the difference. I'm gonna tell you about the variable anti-filter, but I'm gonna switch it first. So now I'm using the kit lens that I just mentioned. I'm gonna tell you I have a UV filter here. It's just a filter, but the advantage of buying an variable anti-filter is because this here is just gonna protect my lens from the UV lights and dust. But when you use an anti-filter or variable anti-filter, you can actually adjust that filter according to the amount of light that's coming into your camera. See, this is what I'm talking about. S-Log, I'm pretty sure the background's blown up. There are a couple of clouds over here. Probably you're not gonna see it because I'm exposing two stops to get that dynamic range out of the shadows and the highlight at the same time, even though I can do it because I don't have the variable anti-filter. This is the time where a variable anti-filter is gonna help you a lot. Man, the tower looks good to me. I wish Sony had flip LCD screen because this really sucks. Every camera should have flip LCD screen. This here is the perfect spot to test the S-Log because I'm here in the shade and I'm definitely sure there's a harsh light coming from all that open space. There's a little bit of clouds over there, but I can't even really say there's clouds because it's kind of like that what you see here in this frame right now. And this is the whole point of S-Log. So that's so loud. That's loud. Come on guys, I gotta leave one battery up here. Do you really think the Corona season's over? Because people are acting like that, they're all on the streets. Could be doing some important things about their lives for sure, but don't take pleasure trips, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm really impressed with the results. So that's the whole point of S-Log. I'm in shadows and you have a bright light or something like that on your background. I'll say it's not gonna help if you go straight opposite to the light. It's gonna end like what you see in Cine 4 on the last vlog that I did when it came up against the light in the kitchen. It's gonna be the same. You can't expect miracles unless you're shooting in RAW, that's for sure. But the whole point is you want to nail that exposure and you want to retain the details from the highlight and the shadows as well. S-Log can do that 100%. Not only, I'm not gonna say generally S-Log, this is how the log profile works. So the whole point of S-Log or shooting in flat profile, just like I mentioned 1,000 times in this video, I believe at this point now, is to get details from shadows and highlight at the same time. I think Sony introduced this system first. I'm not sure, I'm just saying. Sony introduced the S-Log system and overall the log profile capabilities, then the other cameras adapted it. It's funny, people on the road are looking straight up to me. It's looking like an alien. So I'm gonna say a negative side about shooting in S-Log. If you're using 24 frames like what I'm doing right now, there won't be much problems when you shoot in S-Log. But if you're using beyond 60 frames per second videos, like super slow motion 120 frames per second slow motion video in S-Log, I see there are a lot of people saying about getting more grains in the shot, which ruin the shot when you color grade it. So I'm a person who like a little bit of organic, maybe a little more organic grains in my shots. I'm that kind of person, so grains won't matter me much. Whoops. Wow. I didn't see that coming. That's bad. It's a huge sound. What is that? I don't know if you can hear it on camera, but it's the next day. My battery died on me yesterday while I was shooting that last video, which explains how bad the battery life is without using the battery grip like I mentioned in the previous vlog. Speaking about the lock capabilities, what you don't have these kind of lock profiles inbuilt in your camera? Well, most of the cameras in 2020 and upcoming cameras will definitely have lock profiles, because people started recognizing how useful it is and the difference they get from their footage, that cinematic range they get from the footage. So most of the cameras releasing these days have this lock capabilities. But what if you don't have one? Let's say you have 200D, 300D Canon kind of cameras, or Nikon on that price range, budget for price range cameras. They don't have inbuilt lock capabilities, but you can create a fake flat profile in your camera using your settings. In order to create that flat profile look, or fake that flat profile look in your DSLR cameras, it's very simple. Most of the DSLR camera shoots in standard profile. You can find that in creative style. Go to creative style, take the standard profile, crank down, all the way down, your contrast, saturation, most importantly sharpness. Boom, you're ready to rock with it. So now I'm using my old DSLR Sony Alpha 58. This is how it looks. Auto intelligence, autofocus, everything's auto. Straight out of camera color, no color grading, nothing. Now when I color grade this footage, this is how it looks. I hope it's not that bad. So this is how it looks when I use manual mode, that flat profile. When you crank down your contrast, saturation and sharpness. So here's the clip after color grading this footage. Definitely sure I like this over the other one, 100%. This is the way you need to shoot film. This is the way you need to shoot videos. I'm definitely sure I like this over the other one. It's fun and it have more dynamic range. One more thing, you need to shoot in manual mode. If you're using auto intelligence, there's no way you're gonna use this flat profile. Manual mode is the best way to shoot videos. You have infinite control over the shutter, ISO, aperture, all that. That's the way to shoot videos. You're gonna get best results out of it. Gonna take a little time, but learning to shoot in manual mode worth the benefits. By the way, I'm saying S-Log, it's not in every camera. It's specifically designed for Sony cameras. When it comes to Canon, there's C-Log, Nikon I think N-Log or something, Fujifilm S-Log, Panasonic have V-Log. So it depends on the camera brand. S-Log is for Sony, I think S stands for Sony Log or something, I don't know. If you're looking for a camera with inbuilt log capabilities like S-Log, C-Log, V-Log, whatever the log it is, you need a good budget. Like most of the cameras which comes with log capabilities definitely cost you more than a lakh here in India. So you need a good investment over that camera if you want that log capability inbuilt. But if you don't have that budget, you're looking for a budget friendly camera, when you buy that camera, go to that creative style, go to that standard profile, crank down contrast, saturation and sharpness all the way down, get the best result, best cinematic footage out of your camera, just like that. Well, if you don't know much about, if you don't want to waste much time in color grading, like adjusting saturation or contrast, all that, it's completely up to you. But you definitely need to crank down that sharpness, because inbuilt camera sharpness sucks. I have experience, I made mistakes, and definitely sucks. So that's it for the video today. I hope I did share some valuable information. I hope this is a good video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more videos like this. It's actually pouring. It's about to rain, so I'm gonna go inside. Till next time, this is Maheshwaran, Kutnatan Vlogs. Peace. What's my dad doing? Enda? Eh? The number one fear when I'm climbing with this camera is dropping the camera, then like me falling. I don't know why. It's not just about here climbing on my rooftop. Overall, anywhere I go, it deals with height. My number one fear is that. Getting a light here? The hell? Okay. I'm wrong.